at Alpine last year, P9 until Brazil, and that huge whack of points. Speaking of Alpine, there's a segue for you. Ollie Oates is with Lawrence Barretto.
Ollie, a really difficult day for you guys yesterday in qualifying. Great luck from Jack still to out-qualify Pierre, but what can you do today in a sprint race that isn't very long?
Yeah, I mean, look, yesterday was frustrating, especially with Pierre being blocked. But I think, you know, a sprint race, anything can happen. It looked quite, last year was a lot of passing, a lot of overtakes. Let's see how they do today.
In terms of the tyres, the resurfacing, what have you guys learned about that, and how difficult is it going to keep this tyre alive?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, this race is a good chance for later to put it into practice in a second qualifying. I think the resurfacing is interesting. It is smoother, but it is also fresh tarmac as well, so it's definitely changing throughout the weekend.
In terms of looking out the rest of the weekend, can you go and salvage some points, or is that too much to ask at the minute?
No, I mean, look, we felt pretty good yesterday. I mean, obviously the timing sheets doesn't show that at the end, but we do feel this afternoon we got a good chance to make up for it.
Great stuff. Good luck today, Ollie. Thank you.
Tricky weekend so far for Alpine. They didn't score any points when there could have been a few on offer in Melbourne as well.
Also, they had to change their rear wing, didn't they?
I was about to ask you, Jack.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. They're all good. Yeah, look, they had to actually make changes at the factory, didn't they, for their rear wing? So how do you think that will impact them? Are we talking thousandths, tenths? What are we saying?
In qualifying, not that much, because they opened the DRS anyway, so that didn't make a huge difference. It's once they get in the sections without DRS, also high-speed corners, it might affect the balance a little bit, where the other wing was opening up and removing a little bit of rear downforce, so the balance of the car would change, but it's mostly once they get in race trim without the DRS open.
The problem is that you have a configuration that can often rely on innovations like that. So it's not a case of just take it off and send the car. You know, the airflows all around the floor will work to optimize that. The balance at the center of pressure of the car that they have will work to optimize that. I didn't want to, when Dave Greenwood told me that they had to take the car back to, or they had to make changes at the factory, I didn't want to cast aspersions that it was going to ruin their weekend. But after sprint qualifying, it looks like they've lost a little bit.
So they're just going to have to reconfigure everything centrally to that car and how it operates and the balance of it for the drivers as well. That's quite a shift, isn't it?
It's going to be an upgrade cycle for them to actually redress the issue and go back to where they were, which I think is a shame, because actually at certain stages of the Melbourne weekend, they look relatively strong.